Stephen A., are you me? Before you start running your mouth off about politics, a topic of which you really don't know anything about. So, Stephen A., keep up your on sports. I enjoy it. I like it, but don't make a fool of yourself anymore in talking about politics.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please hit that like button right away for me. If you're one of my subscribers, please hit the like button for me. Put MAGA in the comments. Let's beat the algorithm. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Hope you stick around. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and please put a MAGA in the comments or comment on the video. Tell me whatever you like. I respond to every single comment, every one that I could find, because sometimes YouTube makes it impossible to find. But if I find it, I will respond. This video, we're getting back to Stephen A. Smith, and this time it's because James Carville, the well-known advisor who probably his last successful American campaign was Bill Clinton's 1996 campaign, but somehow he still sticks around and somebody that people listen to, even though I think he's been wrong more than he's been right lately. But anyway, that aside, he's going off on Stephen A. Smith, as we saw before, because Stephen A. Smith is now saying, yeah, it's pretty sad that I'm even being considered for president because that's how pathetic the Democrats are right now. They're absolutely awful. There's nobody on the bench. And the fact that I could even put my name out there and get a little bit of traction tells you how bad the Democrat Party is right now. So we're going to hear a Jesse Waters segment on Fox News where Stephen A. Smith will respond to James Carville, and then we're going to hear an Abby Phillips segment where she and the panel are also going to discuss how awful the Democrats are. So a little bit of honesty from CNN, but in a lot of ways, not honest. And I'll get to that when it comes on. You guys ready? Let's go.
We're only 1 month into Trump's presidency, and Democrats are ripping out their hair. Clooney plays cool guys in the movies, but Trump's got them all stressed out. The Times says, quote, George Clooney has been sneaking outside to smoke. I had to get better at inhaling, he said. I got outside so the kids don't see and smoke a little bit, and he plans to switch to herbal cigarettes. George was the face of the Biden coup, but he insists there's blood on the media's hands. Quote, Biden abdicated his responsibility by hiding his incapacities, and the media, in many ways, dropped the ball.
He's not wrong, but George Clooney, you have eyes, ears, and a brain, apparently, right? You knew this, too, and you're one of the biggest donors in the Democrat Party, and you held a fundraiser with the guy, I think, a couple of weeks before, and you knew before that fundraiser. Please, unless you're that stupid, are you? Are you that dumb? Because, yeah, they're responsible, the media, 100% responsible, but so are you, George Clooney. So, you can't get away with it just going, oh, it's the media's fault. No.
The media covered for Biden and ushered in the return of the king, and they're very mad.
Trump has never really wanted to be president. He actually has always wanted to be king. Right now, what we're seeing is he's waving his scepter, his king scepter. Yeah.
Sonny better get it together.
No, she can't get it together. She is so affected. That's great.
Post says the ABC bosses fired 9 staffers on The View, told the ladies to dial back the Trump hate. There's a real us versus the world vibe going on right now, and congressional Democrats aren't siding with us.
The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild, but they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now.
So there you go. You got 𝐬𝐿Z'Sman Crockett. As I've said, I'll put some videos out up top that I did with her. 𝐬𝐿Z'Sman Crockett, you have her talking about how she's rooting for Canada and Mexico against the country that she's an elected representative of. Isn't that something? So there you go, Democrats. I want 𝐬𝐿Z'Sman Crockett. I want her front and center every day for the next 3.5, 4 years. I want her out there every single day talking like this because it's really going to help you guys.
Okay, well, 𝐬𝐿Z'Sman's doubling down on crazy. The other half of the party is trying to get it back on track. This week, Mayor Pete told a panel that DEI is dumb and it's turning people off. Sunny Hostin heard that and blew a gasket.
So do you agree with him that DEI initiatives drove voters to Trump? And what else can be done to make sure everyone is represented on an even playing field?
You know what I think?
And I
like Pete, of course, but I think he got that so wrong, and I think it was so tone deaf, considering what's going on. All of it. I thought all of it.
She is so triggered, and she's a racist.
It was tone deaf because what happens is when from 1776 to 1965. You have basically white men in charge of everything, right? Women, people of color, we're left out of just equality of opportunity, that sort of thing.
That was 60 years ago, Sunny Hostin, 60 years ago. And you're sitting at that table right there with a bunch of other women getting paid millions of dollars. Your argument on its face, it's just nonsense. it's not going to work anymore. People look at you saying that and they go, is this woman kidding right now?
Well, it's been months since the election, and the Democrats are still clawing each other's eyes out. This fracture runs deep. It's not healing anytime soon. Half the party's plotting a new way forward, and the other half's doubling down on woke. They're not even fighting for important policies that Democrat voters care about. It's all superficial DEI and trans stuff. That's basically irrelevant, and it's practically illegal now. And when the party's too busy fighting each other, they can't fight for voters, and they can't fight Trump. The left needs new leadership. Stephen A. Smith said the party's in such bad shape, even he's being talked about as a candidate. But James Carville told him to stick to sports.
Stephen A., are you me? Before you start running your mouth off about politics, a topic of which you really don't know anything about. So, Stephen A., keep up your on sports. I enjoy it. I like it, but don't make a fool of yourself anymore and talk about politics.
Well, he's not allowed to talk about politics? See, this is the thing about the Democrat Party. This is a perfect example. You're just stick to your lane, right? You're not allowed to say anything. And by the way, I think Stephen A. Smith, when he talks about how bad the Democrats are, makes more sense than James Carville does at this point. That's my opinion, but that's what I think.
Ooh, attacking Stephen A. is crazy. He's like one of the hottest talents in America and probably one of our top trash talkers. Stephen A. heard the Raging Cajuns message loud and clear, fired right back.
But if you really, really think, James Carville, about what I said, you've been saying the exact same things. I saw you on Fox News. I saw you on CNN. I saw you on your podcast. Where the hell you think I got some of the stuff from? Is what I said really the problem? Or is it the fact that some novice who doesn't know his ass from a hole in the wall when it comes to politics is resonating in the political stratosphere more than you?
Bingo.
Bingo.
That's it. That's it. 100%. That's it. He's mad that actually more people, whether you hate him, love him, like him, dislike him, more people will listen to what Stephen A. Smith has to say right now when it comes to the Democrat Party, rightly or wrongly, than they will to James Carville. Like I said, the last time James Carville actually did anything was in the mid-90s with Bill Clinton. Since then, he really hasn't done much at all, and he's been wrong more than he's been right.
And if you're going to mention my name, can we cut out the profanity?
Fox News contributor 𝐬𝐿 joins us now. So Carville versus Stephen A. How's it going so far?
Kind of like the way Michael Tyson and Michael Spinks, when they fought each other, about 91 seconds in, pretty much over.
It's over.
Stephen.
I remember that fight. I think Mike Tyson got paid like $40 million, and it was like 91 seconds. Is exactly right. Against Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks wanted to be anywhere except in that ring when he fought Mike Tyson that night. When Mike Tyson, I'm just getting off topic for a second. When Mike Tyson was in his prime, there was nobody more fearful and devastating than Mike Tyson. Not in my lifetime.
The A is Mike Tyson in this scenario. James Carville predicted that Hillary Clinton would win in 2016 in a landslide. Said that Kamala Harris would win in the last election. So as far as his advice, I'm not sure that it's been relevant since 1992 when he ran Bill Clinton's campaign.
What about
probably.
Mayor Pete versus The View? I didn't see that coming.
No. Look, Mayor Pete he has his eye on 2028.
Yeah.
Right? He realizes that DEI is where
Please run for president, Pete. Please, Mayor Pete, run for president. You're talking Mayor Pete? Oh my God.
Politicians go to DIE. So now he's pivoting towards the center because he's basically like the ChatGPT candidate. You could program him to say whatever you want as long as it's polling well. So that's what Pete is thinking about at this point. I have to go to the center if I'm going to beat J.D. Vance or whoever the Republican nominee may be. It could be Donald Trump for all we know.
How would you advise these
It's not going to be Donald
Democrats?
Trump.
They still don't understand why they lost. I mean, you heard the lady from Maine, the governor, say she's going to sue Trump in court to keep boys playing sports against girls.
Yeah, great strategy.
Oh, and if you didn't see that exchange between Trump and the governor of Maine at the governor's luncheon at the White House, where Trump, absolutely flambéed her, destroyed her. I'll probably put that up top in a short that I did. Amazing.
That is an 80-20 issue at this point. 80 support biological men not competing against women in sports. She said, I'll see you in court. So she's taking the 20 side at this point. You cannot underestimate just how dire the situation is for the Democratic Party right now. As in like, oh crap, I'm on the Epstein client list as a Reward Club's member, kind of dire. Quinnipiac poll out today, Jesse. 22% approve of the Democratic Party, 68% disapprove. They are 46 points underwater. So that's like say hi to Jack Dawson next to the Titanic, kind of underwater at this point. And the problem is they're trying to attack the Terminator to bureaucracy in terms of Donald Trump with the rhetorical version of a BB gun. And the reason is that the stage before crazy is helplessness. And they feel helpless right now because they don't have the White House, don't have the Senate, don't have the House, don't have the Supreme Court. Ideologically, that's 6-3. In theory, at this point, more Republicans are governors of states right now than Democrats. So James Carville, at this point, when he says the party has no power, he is right about that. But look at the top polling candidates, another poll out today. The top three are now Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, and Tim Walz.
That's amazing.
Right? That's not exactly Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown.
I see what you did there.
That's the problem.
That's amazing that they're still in the top three. I mean, that's how bad it is for the Democrats. This, like I said, there's just nobody on the bench. So you had that there. So you hear the polling for the Democrats. It's awful. All right. Now all of a sudden there's polling coming out on Donald Trump where, oh, his honeymoon's over. He's underwater now approval-wise as far as the average polls when you put them all together. First of all, I don't believe that, number one. Number two, there is never any positive news on Donald Trump in the media, ever. They are driving the price of eggs. It's too high. Donald Trump hasn't fixed the price of eggs yet. Donald Trump hasn't fixed inflation yet. Donald Trump hasn't done anything to help the economy yet, which isn't true. He has done plenty of executive orders that will help the economy. Now we need to get Congress, the Republicans, to do their job and pass his agenda. That will help the economy. So it's all fake. It's all fake news. And yes, that will help drive his poll numbers down because the people who actually still listen to the mainstream media think that it's true. But, you know, he's responsible for the price of eggs. Eggs have been going up since 2022 because of the avian flu. They've been going up and up and up, and the whole time, nobody said anything. Also, we hear Joe Biden got a horrible economy from Donald Trump. That was Joe Biden's excuse in the beginning. The economy never got better under Joe Biden. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But now Donald Trump, remember when they said Joe Biden had the best economy in the world? So then how is it now that Donald Trump has a bad economy? If Joe Biden's economy, this is a month. So in a month, Donald Trump ruined Joe Biden's great economy? No, it's all nonsense. The economy's been awful for the last 4 years because of Joe Biden. Okay? Donald Trump's got to fix that, and he better fix it. But that's what you're getting in the media. That's why Donald Trump's poll numbers, if they are down, is because of that. That's all you're hearing. You're seeing federal workers who are crying on 60 Minutes because they got fired. Sorry, you don't have a job for life just because you're a federal employee. Welcome to the real world. Anyway, let's get on to Abby Phillips and CNN. And let's hear what they have to say. And some of it, cognitive dissonance is so strong, it's amazing. Let's go.
But why not, Stephen A?
Why gotta go to me first? I mean, the why not is, I mean, where's the why? I think the why, I mean, and to be fair to him and everybody else, at this point, if I'm Stephen A. Smith and I look around, why not me does seem like a fair question. But
that's what I said in the last video I did about Stephen A. Smith. I said, now would be the time, because like we said, that's how bad it is for the Democrats right now. You just heard Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, and Mayor Pete are the top three polling candidates right now for 2028. Now would be the time.
that is an indictment of not the Democrats. That is an indictment of everything much broader. But bless the hearts of anybody that tries to get on television and argue with that man about anything. I'm telling you right now, you are probably going to lose. I might not lose. You're going to lose.
He's right, though, that nobody in the country right now seems to like the Democrats. They are having a hard time, Harry.
No, I mean, look, Quinnipiac got a poll out this week, asking about the approval rating, the favorability rating of congressional Democrats. And what was the number in the poll? I think we have it up. I think it was what?
20% of overall don't like the Democrats. 40% of Democrats don't like the Democrats.
More Democrats dislike congressional Democrats than like them. I mean, what are we even talking about here? For all of the problems that Donald Trump may have 1 month into his presidency, congressional Democrats and the Democratic Party are on their own line.
See what I mean? He's saying all the problems Donald Trump may have into his... What problems? What problems? What real problems does he have right now? None. If Congress doesn't get their act together and get a bill passed, yes, he'll have problems. But until then, he really doesn't have any problems.
Island so far from the American public, you'd have to take a fly, you'd have to fly into one island and then fly to another island. That's how far away they are from the American public.
And Alyssa Farrah Griffin, she just loves going around clueless tables.
This particular point. Democrats are in the desert. I'm not even sure my forefathers crossed it.
I mean, honestly, I have seen nothing, absolutely nothing in the last month. I mean, maybe 3 months since the election.
Didn't do it for you.
I don't, but really, like, every time people ask, what's the plan? I get like a 5-page memo, and it's like, what does this memo say? And it doesn't really say anything.
And listen, the DNC chair elections, I don't think gave anyone hope who's rooting for the Democrats. It became more and more doubling down on identity, boxes, making sure that there's all this representation, but not an actual strategy, cohesive message, and a leader of the Democratic Party. There is no leader of the Democratic Party.
And it reminds me of what happened during the campaign, because Democrats were convinced is that if we could say that Donald Trump is racist, enough.
Yeah.
Like that will get people to vote against Donald Trump, and it didn't work. And so now we have, Representative Crockett, she's on the Breakfast Club talking about that she is, she's for Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
You have them screaming expletives outside of federal buildings.
Or calling
this
Trump
is like a
voters
ghetto swap meet.
uneducated. It's just not helpful.
It's not going to.
Yeah, it happens every day on the show you're on, Alyssa Farah Griffin. Sonny Hostin just basically, eat your lunch every day.
I just want to just mention this because we were talking about George Clooney, but this is why we're talking about George Clooney. He said in an interview with Maureen Dowd that Biden abdicated his responsibility by hiding his incapacities. Clooney told me, and the media in many ways dropped the ball. So it's the media's fault.
Whoa, I don't think he's so wrong.
I'm with you on this.
That right there, that debate was staggering for people. And for that moment to come in America all at one time, be like, yo, what's up with your mans?
It wasn't staggering for people who were paying attention. It was not staggering at all. It was actually expected. That's the thing. And these people, oh my God, I can't believe that nobody knew until that debate. They didn't know until the debate because you were hiding it. The media was hiding it. The ones who were supposed to be the democracy dies in darkness people. They were hiding it intentionally, trying to keep Joe Biden to run out the clock so nobody knew that the man was cognitively impaired. I hate saying that word. It's hard to say. Sorry. That's what they were doing. And now they're going to say, oh, we people, when they saw the debate, they finally realized that's because of you. Because not everybody's hyper-focused like people who watch this channel are, myself, right? People, oh my God, I can't believe it. They can't believe it because you guys never played any of the clips. You never played the clips of Joe Biden shaking hands with nobody as he was trying to get off stage, or not knowing where the stairs were to get off stage, or mumbling his words, or just can't complete one thought. Having his questions at a press conference written down on cards for him. Everything was scripted. You guys didn't report on that. That's why it was staggering to so many people. Your fault.
You're not going to tell me that more people
George
didn't know.
Clooney host a fundraiser with Joe Biden? Why didn't George Clooney say something before?
Abby Phillips, why didn't you say something? You're in the media. You're a quote-unquote journalist. You didn't say anything because you were told not to. You were following orders.
Before the debate.
But the crazy part is that Maureen Dowd is talking to George Clooney about this, and he's the person to be making the statement because they don't have anybody to talk to.
I have never been bullied more in any place I've been in public life than when I said it's time that this guy step aside despite.
You're a real hero, Alyssa Farah Griffin. Yeah, I didn't. You know what? You're such a liar because how many times on The View would you stand up at the table and raise hell and say Joe Biden's got to go? When did that happen? When did that happen before that debate?
Blaring polls forever.
Bullied,
it's on the left, on the right. It was. I mean, it is. The media could have been harder on him. I'm just going to be honest.
Oh, really? They could have been harder on him. What? This is why nobody takes this seriously. This is why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am.
The conversation that you just couldn't have.
The media, yes, but what about congressional Democrats? What about the Democratic Party?
True.
Why did they not get Joe Biden? Oh no, he's doing great. He's amazing. He's doing somersaults.
How come you guys didn't hold their feet to the fire when they said that, Harry Enton? How come you didn't? Everybody on your network, they went along with it. MSNBC, same thing. You all went along with it. How come you guys, that's your job, isn't it? As journalists, as members of the media, to say, hold on, Democrat Party, I have eyes, ears, and a brain. What you're telling me right now is just not true. You're gaslighting me. But no, you guys didn't do that. And then the debate happened, and everybody's like, oh my God, oh yeah, look at that. This is nonsense.
What's going on? Because they thought he was the only person who could win that election.
But can they read polls? Because that's what, they would have gotten defeated even more seriously than they did had they kept running.
This is why all roads lead back to Stephen A. Because at the end of the day, they have to make amends for putting someone in that position and find somebody who can actually bring people to the table.
What a disaster. Yeah, Abby Phillips, they just sit there with no shame, none, and tell you, oh, yeah, they got to make amends for it. You have to make amends. You guys have to make amends. You know what? Thank you. Thank you for doing us the favor of not getting Joe Biden out of the race sooner. Joe Biden, from day one, we've learned since that he was not in it from day one. We knew during the campaign, the man was in his basement. He used COVID as an excuse. He got away with it because everybody knew Joe Biden already. And they could say, everybody knows Joe Biden. He doesn't have to go out and campaign. And it's the thing from China came over and we don't want him to get sick. That's what happened, right? We knew from day one, though, and in the campaign, we knew he didn't have it. We knew. So did you. And you did nothing. You let it go because you knew, once he won the election, you knew that you had to cover for him. You were told to cover for him. End of story. Anybody who doesn't think that, I'm sorry, you're not paying attention and you're lost. You're lost. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. Again, please like the video, hit the button for me. Please leave a comment about this video or just hit MAGA, put MAGA in the comments for me. I respond to everything like I said, and I'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.